Kia ora, good evening. The threat to native birds and bats from plague levels of rats, mice and stoats has been significantly reduced in Waikaia Forest following a recent pest control operation in the area.
The Department of Conservation's Battle for Our Birds operation over 7,000 hectares in the Waikaia Forest in August was targeted to protect threatened species. Before the 1080 drop, there was significant beech seed fall in the area and rapidly rising rat and mice numbers. DOC's 200 tracking tunnels revealed that 30% of the tunnels were being utilised by rats in August. That number was predicted to increase to over 60% by November. However, following the use of 1080 pallets, the percentage of tunnels being used by rats is now just 0.5% and 3% for mice. President of the Gorin Districts branch of the New Zealand Deerstalkers Association, John Howes, says branch members had looked around the operational area within the following weeks of the drop. Mr Howes reports that none of the association members found any deer poisoned by the 1080 after DOC employed deer repellent in the forest to prevent them ingesting the deadly bait. Hunter Andrews, South Today News.
Runanga o Ngāi Tahu has, with its year-end results, lifted its net worth to in excess of $1 billion. The record profit saw the Te Runanga Group return a profit of just under $146 million after over $31 million was distributed toward tribal development. The commercial arm of the iwi, Ngāi Tahu Holdings, profited by $160.6 million. Kai whakahaere tā Mark Solomon says that because the iwi distribution is not linked to profit but to wealth, reaching $1 billion net worth is a significant milestone. In 1998, Ngāi Tahu settled with the Crown, receiving $170 million in compensation. PACT and Number 10 came together at Anderson Park today for a Mental Health Awareness Week event. After 7 months in the planning, it was an opportunity for staff and clients to get the word out about mental health wellness. And around 50 clients, family, friends and staff enjoyed the live music, a barbecue lunch and activities on offer. PACT offers support to people of all ages with intellectual and other disabilities. The Southern Region Manager says although numbers are reasonably steady, clients are presenting with more complex issues, including drugs and alcohol.
A lot of our clients will be in shared care arrangements, meaning that PACT will provide some of the community-based type service, whether it's housing, whether it's community support, helping people getting on with their life. And they will also have quite often a clinical treatment, so they will be followed up by clinical staff, hospital-based, and we work quite closely together, making sure that we work off the same plan, really, support plan, and we share information quite regularly.
How do events like this help to raise awareness and perhaps break down some of those barriers that people may have?
So there's a lot of activities happening for Mental Health Awareness Week right across Southland and Otago. Today's particular barbecue was advertised in the paper, open to anyone, so people could come and join us, either family, friends or just members of the public, really. And I guess there is media interest, so there's a lot of media interest for Mental Health Awareness Week that we see, interviews. I guess it's just about putting it out there and talking about it.
Is the demand growing for those services?
I think there is growth, yeah, especially in the child and youth area as well.
We got invited to come down here and sort of with that youth factor, run some activities, some youth-friendly activities, face paint, that sort of thing, yeah.
There's a bit of a crossover between what PACT offer and what Number 10 offer as far as youth go?
Yes, I guess for both organisations, we're trying to work together smarter and better support the people we support. So we are mainly focused with 10 to 24-year-olds, and they do also look after that age range as well, so it just made sense.
As far as that age range goes, is there a growing demand for mental health support services in Southland? Definitely.
I guess at Number 10, we do have a lot of people wanting to come through, and we do one-on-one mentoring. We also run groups and we run events. So there's a lot going on, but obviously you've only got so many workers.
If the skies are clear tonight, you may see a blood moon as it turns coppery red for the second time this year. A total lunar eclipse is scheduled over southern New Zealand just before midnight, with the maximum eclipse scheduled for 11:55 p.m, a time when the moon is at its highest point in the sky, which could help visibility. Those who want to watch the spectacular phenomenon are advised to find a clear, dark location to watch the disappearing moon. If skies are cloudy, viewers can tune in to a number of live webcasts to watch the hour-long process. Stay with us. After the break, a new tool to help transport providers assist sight-impaired travellers. Welcome back. Rowena Jackson Retirement Village was abuzz this afternoon as local businesses and individuals joined together to hold a market. There was plenty to choose from, including fresh fruit produce, artisan breads, nuts, jams and preserves. For those looking for something to wear, they could pick from jewellery, beaded necklaces and traditional possum slippers. Handmade soaps, artwork and knitted crafts featured, along with handmade cards, bath salts and needlework. Staff and residents intend to hold a weekly market starting next Wednesday with fresh fruit and produce for purchase. Meanwhile, across town at Age Concern, another event for Greats and Grands Month was underway. For the third year, youngsters took digital photographs of their elder relations, many of whom brought props and wore fancy dress for the occasion. Mokopuna were using digital cameras courtesy of the Children's Art Experience under the tuition of several Southland Photographic Society members. There were also self-portraits being painted and grandparents' history recorded by children for memory boards. The photos, paintings and written histories will form a new travelling exhibition that launches next Wednesday. The Southland branch of the Association of Blind Citizens New Zealand last night launched a special informational transport training DVD called Let's Go. The DVD was conceived by the Secretary of the Southland branch of the Association, Carolyn Weston, and aims to educate the transport industry as to the needs of vision impaired and deaf blind passengers.
Instead of us fronting up to all the companies all the time, Carolyn came up with the idea that we produce a DVD so it's there available for companies to play for their staff, for new members of staff, or even a refresher for those that maybe haven't dealt with blind passengers for a while. So that's how it all came about.
And the need is obviously there for it.
Well, I think so. And it just helps them be more at ease, I hope, after they've seen the DVD, that we're not big and scary. And I guess that the main message of the DVD, just ask, we'll let you know how best you can help us.
And produced locally, you were involved. What was the process like of actually making it?
Pretty hard. We're not actresses or anything like that, so it was very, very interesting, and we had a lot of fun, and we had some help from a lot of people, some extras, and our wonderful group of Waikiwi Lions who are our volunteers and other volunteers to come in and assist, and we all just had a really good time, and not to take yourselves too seriously, I guess.
And who will use it? Is this going to go nationwide, or is it locally?
It's going to be available for all staff, anybody who assists blind travellers, really. So I think it takes the mystery and the fear out of helping approach a blind person. We're not that scary, and like I say, the motto of the DVD is just ask. We'll soon let you know how you could help us.
Is this a first for New Zealand, do you think?
I'm not sure, actually. I know we have produced one a while ago. Well, it's very, very old now.
Needed updated.
Yeah, that was for the footpaths, really. So this is, I believe it is. It's the first for assisting blind travellers, and that's what we've called this DVD. Let's Go, Assisting Blind Travellers. So.
Successful Southland applicants from the New Zealand ballot for Gallipoli 2015 have 3 weeks left to accept their place at next year's centenary Anzac commemorations. People who do not confirm their booking plans by 25th of October will forfeit both their pass and their accompanying person pass, which will then be reallocated to the next person on the wait list. Currently nationally, 374 people, or 39% of successful applicants, are yet to accept the offer of a double attendance pass. 95 people have declined their offer of passes, and those passes are in the process of being reallocated to those on the wait list. Some of the region's dairy farmers will be feeling the financial squeeze after tumbling international prices that have dropped 50% since their peak in February. Hunter Andrews asked Invercargill financial advisor Stephen O'Connor for his take on the current international demand for the key Southland export.
Yes, the dairy prices have been in quite a free fall for the last 6 to 9 months, and they've fallen significantly, close to 50%. So the dairy farmers now are the latest price that's been announced is $5.30 per kilogram of milk solids. I imagine most farmers have a cost structure somewhere between $4 and $5, so the margin is now pretty thin. So farmers clearly will have to look at their cost bases. They may have to defer capital expenditure, and it's something that, again, that they now need to be relatively cautious about, and because we don't know where the dairy price is going to go. The indication is that it probably has bottomed out, but there's not a great likelihood of it, rebounding in a hurry.
I was reading somewhere where increase in global demand for dairy products is at 2.5%, and we're producing 5% more annually. So there's obviously those figures aren't meeting, aren't they? Have we backed the wrong horse as far as commodities go?
I don't think we've backed the wrong horse. Clearly, dairy prices do go up and down, as do all commodities, and the outlook. The long-term demand is probably for increases at a range of around 2.5%. Now the supply, or the increase in supply, tends to fluctuate as prices move up and down. So clearly, when prices were high last year, we saw an increase in supply of about 5%. But now that prices have corrected, you'll see a reduction in that as the producers react to the price.
So it's farmers are sort of being urged to have made hay while the sun shined, and now perhaps just a little retrenchment while these prices have bottomed out.
Some will have done that. Some will have been in a good position to actually put some funds aside during that period of record prices. Others won't have. They'll have had to have use all their resources if they're highly geared, and so that they'll now struggle. But again, it's a case of, if you're investing in a business where you're not, you can't rely on the price, and it's subject to market fluctuations, you have to be relatively cautious when you go in.
Coming up shortly after the weather next, we talk sport with Joseph Romanos from the news team. It's good night.